Thank you, Frank. Thank you, and thank you, everyone. This is incredibly exciting for me. It's giving me an opportunity to celebrate an organization that really speaks to what the Open Heart is all about. I don't know if anyone here knows the story, but forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but this image here, the Open Heart, the inspiration was my mother. My mother was a Dutch national who lived in Indonesia in World War II and was in an internment camp for 3.5 years. And she survived, not many did. And when I was growing up with my sisters, my mother always used to say to me, darling, when life is tough and a challenge comes your way, which it will, your natural instinct will always be to close off your heart and not let anyone know what's going on and keep it to yourself. And if you do, she said, it'll eat you alive. She said, but if you can accept it, and she said that's the hardest thing to do, but if you can accept it, open your heart and reach out in some way to help someone else, first of all, you'll notice there's always someone worse off than you. And when you do that, you have a purpose. And when you have a purpose and you are able to help someone in any capacity, it makes you happy. And when you have happiness in your life, it attracts love. So really, the Open Heart speaks to a universal symbol, really, of giving and receiving love. My mother always said to me that because there were people worse off than her, it gave her a purpose, and that was the reason why she felt that she could survive. This philosophy and this concept made me realize that what I wanted to do was to have a foundation, and I didn't want to just reinvent yet another charity of which there are millions. I wanted to find a way that we could spread the message of what it's like to take a challenge, take a bad thing and turn it into a good thing and help countless others in the same way that my mother did. And when I spoke about it, so many people wrote the most amazing letters and told me amazing stories of extraordinary people that were like angels to them, that had just, in their moment of need, had just known exactly what to say, what to do, and what to give them. And I felt that I didn't want these stories just to come to me, I wanted to spread them. So we started the Open Heart, keepanopenheart.com, and we had people spread their stories. I've also written and published 4 books about open hearts. Some people I call open heart angels. That's when you just don't even know that you've gone and done something incredibly good for someone, and they say, oh my gosh, you're an angel, you did just the right thing at just the right moment. That's an open heart angel. The open heart family, these are the people you connect with when you go through times in your life, and you realize that you have more of a connection maybe to them than you do your very own family, and sometimes for some people it's an animal. So that's what Open Hearts is about. So we decided that we wanted to do something really original and have a contest to see who could submit the story and the foundation and the organization that really fit what the Open Heart was about. And we had 1,300 submissions. And most of these were submitted, well, not by the people themselves usually, but by people who'd benefited or knew about it. So you can imagine it took us forever to sort through the 1,300, and very, very hard indeed to decide who would be the 4 finalists. And of course, Caitlyn is one of the 4 finalists, and we're just really thrilled. You know, it takes a strong person to overcome a challenge, and truly an amazing person to take their own tragedy and use it as an inspiration to help others. And so Katelyn Darrow is a perfect example of just that. As a young girl, Caitlyn, her sisters, and her mother were victims of domestic violence, and they made the very courageous decision that they weren't going to endure it any longer, and they left their home with only the clothing on their backs. A few years later, after getting back on their feet, the unspeakable happened, and they had a fire. So twice they were able to benefit from the kindness and the generosity of other people. And thanks to those friends and family members and people, they realized that they couldn't have done without that. So reflecting on these experiences, Caitlyn, she didn't dwell on the negative. And there's a lot of people who say, oh, it's not fair, why me? You know, what's wrong with this picture? And Caitlyn just decided at the age of 12 that this was an opportunity for her to make a huge difference for lots of people who are going through or would be going through what she and her family had gone through. And she started the Angels of God Clothing Closet. Well, this organization works with local churches, agencies, shelters, and they refer clients who are invited to this small storefront shop and to receive the basic needs of clothing and toys and food. And what was really important, Caitlyn felt, was that they could do it with respect. And so she decided they should have little things like it should be a shop that you just don't pay, and that you should have shopping carts, and you should have a mirror and a dressing room so you could actually see what you look like. And she wanted everyone to be able to come here and shop the closet with dignity. Caitlyn and Angels of God Clothing Closet is an amazing inspiration of just how one person can make such a big difference to so many. And I'm here today to honor her organization. And right now I'd like Caitlyn to tell us all about it.
Hi everyone. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for coming out on this afternoon. I really appreciate it. I just want to say a few words about the Angels of God Community Outreach and tell you a little bit about the history of it. I did start it when I was 12 years old. My family and I had went through a lot of really tough experiences, as Ms. Seymour spoke about. We had went through domestic violence, and we ended up leaving our home because of that. And then a few years later, we went through a house fire. And also my mom's a single mom, and she raises my sisters and I on her own. So we had went through some really hard experiences, and I think that it just made us stronger. And so when we were kind of back on our feet a few years later, I knew that I wanted to help others just like the community had come together and rallied around us and helped us. Because looking back, just seeing how supportive the community of Pittman was and just the South Jersey area in general, so many people had helped us. So I wanted to pay it forward and help others as well. Running Angels of God these past almost 7 years has been both heart-wrenching and heartwarming. It's heart-wrenching because a lot of the families are coming to us at their lowest point. Their spirits are low, and they're coming to us from all sorts of really terrible situations and walks of life. But, you know, we welcome them with open hearts, and we're always really happy to help them. And I think that's where the heartwarming part comes in. One particular story that I wanted to share, this is actually a few months ago. We had helped a family who had went through a house fire, and it was a family that I felt like I could really relate to because we had went through a house fire ourselves, and it was a single mom and 2 boys. And the boys, they must have been in 2nd or 3rd grade, which was around the time that we had went through our fire. So I remember going, because they were living in a motel at the time because they didn't have the finances to move right away. And I just remember going and visiting the family and seeing the 2 boys sitting on the steps at the motel and just how scared and lost they were without their belongings, and what a tough situation it was for children to go through. And we had gotten them superhero sleeping bags. I think it was like Batman and Spider-Man, and they were so excited to have that. And we had gotten them toys, of course, in addition to the necessities of food and clothing. But it was those extras that really reached out, and the little boys were so excited. And then just recently, it really came full circle because we saw them grocery shopping the other day. Because a lot of clients, they come to us and then we don't see them 4 months at a time, because our goal is to get them back on their feet so that they don't have to come back. So we saw them, and they were telling us how they're moved into an apartment and they're doing so much better now. And it just filled my heart with so much joy to see it come full circle, and to see this family had gotten help just from the little necessities that we had given them. In closing, I just want to say thank you so much to the entire community. Everyone has just been so supportive, and I really appreciate it. just looking out into the sea of crowds, so many people have donated to us over the past few years, and some of you guys have been here since I was 12, and some of you have just started donating recently. So I really, really appreciate your support. And of course, I just want to say thank you to my mom and my sisters, because they're just my number one supporters, and I definitely wouldn't be able to do it without them. So again, thank you so much for being here today and for supporting the Angels of God community outreach.
Hi, my name is Gina Ridge. I'm from the Center for Family Services. We are a local nonprofit organization serving southern New Jersey. One of our programs, Services Empowering Rights of Victims, has been directly impacted by this organization and their founders, Caitlyn and Elisa. At SERVE, we assist victims of domestic and sexual violence by providing safe housing, counseling, advocacy, and prevention against future acts of violence. Angel of God's Clothing Closet has been such a wonderful asset to not only to our program, but to our clients, to our residents, and to the community in so many ways. And we couldn't be more happy and excited for them that they're receiving this honor. It's just so great. So let me just tell you a little bit of our relationship with Angel of God's Clothing Closet and how we've gotten to know them over the years, almost 7 years. You can't believe that. At a young age, Caitlyn showed concern for families that were in need, especially those directly impacted by violence. Many of our clients escaping violent situations arrive at our safe house with only the clothing on their back and with no personal belongings or any type of things that they own. They're all left behind. So as you can imagine, this could be really a very traumatic time for individuals and especially for their children. And this is just one of the several ways that Angel of God's Clothing Closet has helped us and helped our clients. With just a simple phone call from us, they are able to provide clothing, personal items, toys, and make that person feel whole again, make the difficult situation that much better. Recently, well, over the years, I should say, they have delivered baby clothing for us at our safe house when we had a newborn come in the middle of the night with their abused mother. And that just meant a whole lot, not only to our program, but also imagine to that mother who just was through a traumatic situation and didn't have anything for her baby. But our clients are not only struggling emotionally, they're also struggling financially. So the assistance provided by this organization is extremely helpful. During the holidays, we can always count on Angel of God's Clothing Closet to help out. Right now, for example, they are gathering Easter baskets for our annual Easter egg hunt that we have at our safe house. And in the past, they've provided an Easter bunny to come and a motorcycle parade for the children's entertainment, and also other things that they have provided for us over the years is backpacks for the kids getting ready to go back to school, Halloween costumes, like these things that we might take for granted. A lot of our clients don't even have the financial standing to do that. So with the help of Angel of God's Clothing Closet, we're able to give these things back to these individuals. And they also participate in a lot of our collaborated events. We have a 5K, and whenever we need to bring awareness to the community about domestic violence as well, we can count on them. And whenever we have a resident or a client that's in need, we know that Angel of God's Clothing Closet will always come through for us. When we hear Caitlyn's vision, or the story behind Caitlyn's vision, it's empowering. It gives us hope. It gives us the courage to speak up and to stand up for others who may not be able to stand up on their own. It shows us the true meaning of turning a negative situation into a positive and empowering others to do so, and to also to give back to our community. This organization is definitely deserving of this award, of the Open Hearts Foundation, and they too have an open heart. They have helped and continue to help many in our community. So I would like to congratulate them and congratulate Caitlyn for this awesome award. We're very happy for you and for the organization.
So I'm going to give her this check, and I want you all to know that there's a voting component here. Do not forget this. As of April 7th, we want you to tell everyone you know to vote for Caitlyn and Angels of God Clothing Closet. And you can vote once a day, and you can vote every day if you want to until April 23rd, when the winner will be announced, at which point there will be the opportunity to have a much bigger check. And then nationally, everyone will know all about you. So you really do live with an open heart, and I'm so glad and so honored to give you this.
Thank you guys, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
And this is a gift for you.
Oh, wow.
From the Open Hearts collection. We'll do this here so you can hear. Okay. So this is a gift for you from K Jewelers and the Open Hearts collection, my Open Hearts collection. And this is actually one of my favorites. And it's very appropriate. It's an angel with what we call a diamond in rhythm. It's a diamond that never stops beating.
Thank you so much.
And this is for you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'll get the label off afterwards.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much. That concludes our formal presentation. Like Jane said, please do support the program and the organization by voting starting April 7th. We'll be sure that everyone has that information. We'll have a brief meet and greet with Jane over to the side here in just a few minutes, and be sure to congratulate Caitlyn and her family on everything they've done. Thank you all very much.